Hey everyone, this is Yana Smakula. Welcome back to my channel. I'm finally back in my craft room after 2 months of extensive travel, and I have missed this happy place. As much as I love to travel, I also love to stay home and just, bundle up in my craft room and make some pretty projects. I'm making a couple of cards and working on a video for you guys with some Spellbinders new products, so stay tuned for that. But today I wanted to pop in and talk about my favorite Spellbinders club kits for January 2024. As you know, today, January 6th, is the day when Spellbinders clubs become available to new subscribers. So all club previews are available on the first of the month. So the first of each month is when you can see the new club designs. You can see the club tutorials on the Spellbinders website and on the Spellbinders blog. If you are a subscriber, this is the time for you to change your subscription or cancel if you don't like the designs, or continue. If you are a new member, if you're not subscribed to the Spellbinders clubs, the 6th of the month, so January 6th, is the time when you can subscribe. So if you are a new member, today is when you can subscribe. And the 6th of the month is also when I like to share my favorites, because I get to work with all of the Spellbinders clubs. I get to film videos for the Spellbinders YouTube channel. And by the way, you can see video tutorials for all of the cards that I'm sharing today on the Spellbinders YouTube channel. So I wanted to pop in today and share the cards and share my favorites with you. So the first card I have here is the small die of the month. It is called Sitting Pretty. And while I did not use this die set exactly as it is intended, I kind of put my own spin on it. So this die set, in addition to the flowers that you see here, so we have the two flowers, you have this flower, and then there's this one, and then there's like a berry sprig, although I don't know if that's a berry or a flower. You also have two bird dies, and you can place the little birds inside this side flower. It looks very pretty, and the birds are just sitting inside the flower, and it looks very very adorable. I wanted to take a different route. I wanted to have my usual dark background. I wanted to have lots of florals in the background, so I skipped using the birds, but you definitely have that option with the small die of the month club. Next, we have the large die of the month, and it is this beautiful honey pot or honey jar. As you can see, this is a pretty big die set. It is the size of an A2 card. It comes with everything you see here. So there are flowers, there's this little foliage piece, there's this beautiful bee. There are the layers to create honey or any other liquid that you want to put inside of your jar. There's the string, there's the jar topper, there's the little tag with the sentiment. And if you want, you can make this into a shaped card. I did make this one into a shaped card, or you can put it on a front of a card. Let me grab just a piece of colored cardstock. So there, that's how you can have it. And you don't necessarily have to use it with the flowers and the bee. You can use it with other things. You can put other maybe fruits, or you can make a little scene using other dyes, or maybe ink blend something. So this is a really fun die set. I love sets like this where I have a large element and I can mix and match that with other products that I have in my stash. So I'm sure I'll be coming back to this large honey jar die later. Okay, moving on, we have the stitching die of the month, and this is the beautiful bee. Oh my goodness, you guys, it is just stunning. I love how big the bee is. I mean, it is just giant. Like, this is an A2 card, and it fills the size of an A2 card beautifully. It would work better on a landscape card, but I kind of like portrait cards. So I went with a portrait card here. I did add stitching to this one, and I went with yellow thread for the black piece, and then black thread for the yellow piece, and then the wings Wings were cut from vellum. I have 2 layers of vellum here, and then I stitched that using the gold DMC thread, and I love it. Now the For You here and also the thanks on this card, those were done using the Glimmer Kit of the Month for January, and you'll see that in just a minute. Now this bee die also has these flowers, and then there's another a flower die that you can add to your project, to fill the scene in. The bee looks fantastic stitched or non-stitched. So here I have a card. This one features also the embossing folder of the month. So you see that in the background. In here, I added the bee without any stitching. I used pretty much the same colors except for the yellow. I substituted that with the gold glitter cardstock. It loses some detail when you cut it from gold glitter cardstock, but it still looks beautiful. I also added some little flowers and leaves, and these come from the large die of the month for this month. So again, love the bee, and this thanks is again from the Glimmer Hot Foil Kit for January. Moving on, and we have the bee theme continue, and we have the clear stamp and die of the month. And that one, of course, is also all about the bees. So here I just did my favorite grid design. I love doing grids. It's just such a fun and easy card layout to do. So here, first of all, I have the embossing folder in the background. That's the 3D embossing folder. It looks beautiful no matter what color cardstock you use. It is just stunning. You have these beautiful flowers and leaves and all of the little small flowers. It's just stunning. Then I white heat embossed the honey jars on yellow cardstock, and I added some yellow ink blending from the side to help add a little bit of shading. I also stamped 3 different bees, and I colored them using my Copic markers. Then I cut everything out using the coordinating dies. I added the Just Because sentiment, and I embellished my card with aura sequins. And that's it. Super simple and super easy. There are other images, of course, included in the clear stamp of the month for January 2024. So you get lots of images to play with. Next, we have a combination of the Glimmer Hot Foil Kit of the month. It's that beautiful, stunning floral. It is the size of an A2 card, so it is sized perfectly to fit an A2 card background for you. I also have the thanks foil here. I've actually done reverse foiling for this card. Here it is foiled normally. Here again, it is foiled normally. Here it is reverse foiled. And then instead of using my Copic markers, I use the coordinating stencil or the stencil of the month for January 2024 to add color. I added simple ink blending. So I ink blended the flower using 2 shades of teal, and then I used 2 shades of green for the leaves. And then I did use my Copic marker, or rather my Olo marker, and I colored the background teal because, well, you know me guys, I need to have that dark background on my cards. I really like having a lot of contrast and a lot of drama on my projects, and I feel like having a dark background helps these lighter colors pop. So you can see that this light blue flower, light teal flower, it really pops on this dark background. So this card uses the glimmer and then also the stencil of the month. Now this next card shows just the stencil alone. So I ink blended the background, or the beautiful flower using the stencil layers. I did skip one layer. There is one layer that adds these lines. I skipped using that. Instead, I came back and with my colored pencils, I used my Polychromos by Faber-Castell, and I added a bunch of brush strokes or pencil strokes and some shading to my images to help define the petals, help define the leaves. I didn't spend too much time on it. You can see like I didn't do anything to the stem. I could have done more coloring, but I wanted to show you that you can use your stencil and then come in with additional coloring medium and enhance that stenciled image to add more detail. Now I also ink blended the sentiment and the stencil of the month for January 2024 includes, I believe there are 2 sentiment options, so you can ink blend those. And the font used for the sentiments is exactly the same as the font used for the glimmer sentiments. Okay, moving on, we also have the 3D embossing folder. So let me bring this card back, and then also let's look at this card. So all 3 use the 3D embossing folder for January. Here, I embossed the folder on the Spellbinders watercolor cardstock, and I used a new product from Spellbinders. Let me go grab it. So I used this new Mighty Mr. spray bottle. This is actually coming to the Spellbinders shop very soon. So this is what it looks like, and it's a fantastic mister bottle. I'll talk more about it later, but I used the bottle to mist my watercolor paper before embossing it using the 3D embossing folder, and then before coloring. I used Korean brush markers. These are watercolor markers. So I used my Korean brush markers to add color to this background, but you can use any watercolor medium that you have, or any other coloring medium that you want. And I colored my embossed design. I've never done this before, but I've seen some really great examples online, and I was inspired and I was also tempted, and so I gave it a try. It did not look perfect because you don't have very strict lines, very defined lines, I should say. So I had a very loosely colored background, and then I came back in with my Faber-Castell pencils, and I added some details, some finer lines to help add definition to this background. I definitely liked this technique. This is something that I will try again. This is a little bit out of my comfort zone because I don't have as much control when I do this, but I loved it. And if you've not tried this, do give this a try. Try watercoloring your embossed images. Okay, so now this card, it also features the wax seal of the month, and it features that same 3D embossing folder. Here I embossed it on light pink cardstock, and now I did a partial embossing here. And then I added some highlighting, white highlighting, using the Simon Says Stamp Pigment White ink. You can also use Hero Arts Unicorn White or any other white pigment ink that you might have in your stash. And it really helps to, add interest to the design. Now the wax seal, it says made with love. I played quite a lot with this seal to make it look the way it does. So first I tried doing like the different colored seals where you pour just like one layer with one color, you scrape off the wax excess and do the next layer. I will be honest, I am not very successful when it comes to that. So what I did here is I first poured one layer using gold wax. It's that main layer. I cut it out using scissors, and then I poured another layer using the white wax, and I just stamped. So I repositioned that gold one that I cut out. I repositioned it on my wax seal, and I basically stamped that into the gold wax. Watch the video on the Spellbinders channel. It will all make sense for you. Then I used a white pen and a red pen to highlight the design. Very easy. It does take a little bit of practice, but once you get the hang of it, it looks really, really fun. And then this little die, this came from my stash. It is not part of the clubs. This is the sealed twine die from Spellbinders. Okay, moving on, I also have a card created with the Better Press of the month, and look at these gorgeous poppies. This Better Press design is perfect for very simple, very subtle, very simplistic and minimalistic cards. I mean, you have your poppies, you add your sentiment, and you're done. It looks stunning. I also colored this using the Korean brush markers. I added some color to the background, and then I added some aura sequins to just add a little bit of sparkle. Now this was pressed in black ink, but I also experimented a little bit, and here I pressed it in a different color ink. I think this is the strawberry. color. I'm not sure. I'll have to check, or you can check the Spellbinders video and it has that. And that it has this included in the video. And then I use the current brush markers to color the poppies. So there's lots of variations that you can do. You can either press this in black or try and press this in a colored ink. So this is the look at the clubs for January 2024. All clubs are available individually, but if you want to join multiple clubs, there is now just one value club. It is called Deluxe Caboodle. And if you join the Deluxe Caboodle, you also get a free bonus item. So the free bonus item this month is this Honey Dipper, and this goes perfectly well with the large die of the month. So this is not a part of the large die of the month. It is only available as a free bonus item to those who join the Deluxe Caboodle. It's just a nice little gift for you. Being a club member has a lot of different perks, and one of the new perks Spellbinders is introducing this month is early access to new arrivals. So new arrivals always launch on the 10th of the month at on the Spellbinders website. But if you are a club member, you get early access and you get to shop new arrival products on the 6th of the month. So this is just a neat little something extra for you that Spellbinders has introduced this year, and I'm kind of excited about that. So speaking about new arrivals, I do have a video with the Monster Birthday Collection coming soon. I'm working on that now. But I also, while I have you guys here, I also wanted to show you a couple of new tools from Spellbinders that are launching this month. So like I mentioned, there is the spray bottle. When you try and use it, when you mist with it, it gives a very fine, it's not like other mist bottle, honestly. I have had this one for over a year now, and I use it for everything in my home. I use it when I'm ironing my clothes. I use it to spray my home plants with, because I do that so that my plants stay healthy. And I also use it to spray paper when I am embossing. So it's a really handy sprayer bottle. Give it a try. And then another new product from Spellbinders this month are the new blending brushes. And these are the large, although I would call them giant, blending brushes. They are super big. I mean, look at that. You can use these to easily ink blend a very large area, a background. They are quite large. I've not used them. I just got them in the mail the other day, so I haven't had the chance to use them, but they are very big. Let me grab. So here's the previously released blending brush. So this was like the original size. Then Spellbinders introduced these little brushes. So they come in a pack of 3. So you have a small, a medium, and a large. And now there is like this, they call it a large, but I call it a jumbo blending brush. So that's a look at the new tools from Spellbinders launching this month, and also at the Spellbinders Club products for January 2024. Thanks so much for joining me today. I will be back with another video very soon. Love you guys. Have a great day.